So I'm not paid to shill Jade or anything. I'm one of the few Hoyo creators that doesn't get paid to do guides anymore. And I also like there are people that do get paid to make videos on certain characters, and like that's fine. Like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean they're getting paid to shield a character. It just means they're getting paid a commission. But basically, like, here's the thing: a lot of people are missing the point of Jade, and realistically, like, the reason why Jade has so much value in this game, because not a lot of people are looking at it from the right perspective. I've seen a lot of conflicting opinions from YouTubers and streamers as well. And so I'm gonna clear up like why Jade is such a broken unit. Okay, so here's a, well, maybe not like such a broken unit, but such an important unit. So like on the, I have every character on my paid Star Rail account right now, just because like I do it for content. I want to have every character at my disposal, and there's a lot of characters in this game that are AoE characters. They have lots of characters that are single target characters. They have lots of characters that are blast characters, and generally speaking, the blast characters we found to be the best. But like some of the AoE characters are really good. So like Jinglu is like insanely good. Acheron is like just blowing everyone out of the park. He's really good in single target. The point is that like there's a lot of different characters that have different niches, but most of the characters in this game have been crafted specifically for Memory of Chaos. And that's the biggest point that I think a lot of people are missing, is that like if you can do Memory of Chaos, that's great. Memory of Chaos is the benchmark that we started with. It was the main endgame game mode, and everyone built characters for Memory of Chaos because that's the one to do. And honestly, of all the endgame game modes, I like Memory of Chaos the most. In terms of like, if you're gonna do any end game, actually I think I like Simulated Universe the more, but I don't think that's end game, right? So there's like all these characters that are specifically made for Memory of Chaos, and then you have some characters that were out earlier that do AoE, like Serval. And you have other characters like Jingyan, who is meant to be like an AoE unit. You have Argenti as well. Now these characters aren't meant for MOC. Can you clear MOC with them? Yeah, probably. But that doesn't necessarily mean they were meant for it, and they don't excel in it in the same way that like Jinglu or Acheron would. And the real reason for Jade to exist is to be the same thing that Jinglu was for MOC, that Dan Heng was for MOC, that Acheron was for MOC, and the goal is for her to be that for pure fiction. And I think a lot of people are skipping over that fact because she sucks in MOC. Well, it depends. I don't think she's really that horrendous, but she's not great in MOC compared to the other characters you could run in that spot. And it's the same for Apocalyptic Shadow. Yes, you can use Kafka Black Swan, and it's actually not that bad depending on the APOC shadow that you're actually doing. I really like Kafka Black Swan when I tried it with her, but there's other better options, right? What people are missing though is there's a lot of players that don't clear pure fiction. And actually on my free-to-play account, I am one of them, because I've spent so much time trying to pull for characters that are good for MOC so I can clear MOC. And that way I can have stacked teams when the metas change, and I can have coverage for every single thing. But it also means that I didn't invest as much into my pure fiction characters like Himiko, Herta, Serval, which would be like the free-to-play accessible characters, just because Himiko you get on a 50-50 loss, and then Herta you get for free, and then Serval you also get for free, right? And you can absolutely, you can clear pure fiction with some of your MOC characters, but Jade makes that shit so free. And I'm not just saying this to try to convince everyone to pull for Jade. I just think a lot of the people that are saying that Jade is shit are not really looking at it from the perspective of what she's actually meant to do. Yes, she's meant to be a pure fiction character, and there's actually nothing wrong with that at all. There's characters that are meant to be MOC characters that can double dip into pure fiction, and she can't go the other way as well. So I understand why people are frustrated with it, and why people don't like her, and why people say she's a shit unit. But realistically, let's say you can clear MOC every cycle, but you can't clear pure fiction every cycle. What are you gonna do? Pick up more MOC units, or are you gonna pick up a pure fiction unit? Right? Like, logically, it makes the most sense. If you're clearing MOC and you're not clearing pure fiction, then you now have an option to pick up a pure fiction unit that's not Argenti, because Jade is, in my opinion, such higher value than Argenti. I'm sorry, Argenti. We have Himiko at home. So that's who this character is meant for. It's not meant for, like, if you play MOC and you don't give a fuck about pure fiction, then this character isn't one you need to pick up, right? But it's like if you're struggling in pure fiction, but you're not struggling in MOC, and maybe you're not struggling in APOC Shadow, this is like the missing puzzle piece. So that's why I think she's not as bad as people are making her out to be. And why, like, it really bothers me when people are like, oh, this character is like complete shit. Because she's really not at the thing she's meant for. She may not be as flexible as other characters, but For a lot of people, she will be the missing puzzle piece. Like, I'm really not trying to convince you guys to pull it all. Like, I'm not sitting here like, oh yeah, you should absolutely pull Jade, Corpa, you know, like me getting a bag or anything. It's nothing like that. I just really do think that for me, the only reason I have this perspective is because my free-to-play account struggles with pure fiction really hard. For me, this would be a good pickup for my free-to-play because I already have so many MOC units. So I don't know, man. I feel like people are overlooking that like drastically. Also, she's really good with some like 4-star light cones too. It's a Jingyun buff. Yes.